So in the last lecture, we have started transportation problems, and I have told you there are three methods to find the initial basic feasible solution. One is your northwest corner rule, one is your least cost entry method, and one is your Vogel's approximation. Till now, we have discussed two methods, that is your northwest corner rule and your least cost entry method, right? So in today's class, we are going to discuss the Vogel's approximation. You know, northwest corner, if you think it is easy to apply, right? Rather than LCM. And the last one is Vogel's approximation. But Vogel's approximation give you the minimum cost, then your LCM, then your northwest corner rule. That means sometimes if you will apply initial basic feasible solution, अगर आपने नॉर्थ वेस्ट लगाया तो हो सकता है ऑप्टिमल करने के लिए आपको 3-4 आइटरेशन और करनी पड़े, बट वोगल्स अप्रोक्सीमेशन ऑलरेडी ही आपको मिनिमम कॉस्ट दे देता है, राइट? तो हो सकता है या तो आपको एक ही आइटरेशन करनी पड़े या आपको आइटरेशन करनी ही ना पड़े. सो दिस इज द बेनिफिट. So I will explain you this question with an example. So that means you have 5 warehouses, that is W1, W2, W3, W4 and W5, and you have 4 plants P1, P2, P3 and P4. You have availability and you have demand. And the transportation problem is given to you that find initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation to minimize the cost. And the corresponding cost which are given to you, that this is 3, this is 3, this is 8, 10, and this is 7. And here demand is 150. And here the transportation cost is 11, 13, 8, 10. This is P3, 6, 7, 7, 12, 10. The P4 is your 0, 3, 5, 1 and 6. Your availability is 80, 110, 150, 100, and this is your 150, right? So this transportation problem is given to you. So this transportation cost is given to you and demand here is 150, 200, 175 and 100. So the first thing, whenever you have to find the initial basic feasible solution, what you have to check? It is minimization cost. So obviously the problem is given to you, that is your minimizing cost. That means one condition is true, that it is my minimization problem. The second condition which you have to check, what is the second condition? That it is balanced or unbalanced. How do you check the balance? That is the sum of 80, 110, 150, 100 and 150. And the sum of 100, 175, 200 and 150 comes out to be same. Same aa raha hai. Here what is the sum? And what is the sum in columns? 6.5. So, is this balance transportation problem? No. So we have done one case when we have given maximizing profit. I have already told you, but this is my unbalanced transportation problem. So this is my unbalanced transportation problem. So I have to convert it into the transportation problem. अगर आपको maximize भी दिया हुआ है और unbalanced भी है, so firstly you will convert into minimization, then you will convert into your balanced transportation problem, right? So if this is not balanced, so what is the problem over here? That here the sum is less. So that means when it is unbalanced, you can add one dummy row or dummy column to make it balanced. You will assign all the cost as 0, and here the availability will be the difference between this. This is coming out to be 35. Is it clear? Yes or no? So whenever you have to make it balanced, if the sum of columns is more, then you have to add the row, and if the sum of rows is more, you have to add the column. Is it clear? So this way you make it balanced transportation problem. अगर यहाँ पे अब आपका नॉर्थ वेस्ट होता तो आप नॉर्थ वेस्ट कॉर्नर रूल लगा देते, एलसीएम होता तो आप लीस्ट कॉस्ट मेथड लगा देते, but here you have to apply your Vogel's approximation. So in the Vogel's approximation, we firstly calculate the penalties in each row and we calculate the penalties in each column. So how do you calculate the penalty? That you find the minimum cost in the first row. What is the minimum element? Only from these entries, not availability and demand. Find the penalties corresponding to each row and column. So what is the minimum element over here? 0. What is the next element minimum? 3. In the concerned row, what is the difference? 3 minus 0, the penalty will be 3. In the next row, what is the minimum cost over here? 3, and the next minimum is also 3. So the penalty is 0. Is it clear? The minimum cost here is 5 and the next minimum is 7. So the minimum will be, difference will be 2. The minimum cost here is 1. The next is 8. So this is my 7. This is my 6 and 7. The difference here will be 1. Is it clear how I have calculated the penalties row wise? Fine. Now penalties by column. What is the minimum element? 0, right? Because you have added now, right? This is the minimum element and the next minimum element is 3. The difference here will be 3. And the minimum element again here it is 0 and the next minimum element is 8. Is it clear? The minimum element here is again 0 and the next minimum element is, 6. So the difference here will be 6. The minimum element here is 0 and again the minimum element is 0. So the difference here will be 0. Is it clear how I have calculated the penalties? Yes or no? Now you have to choose the most positive, most highest penalty to enter in the concerned row or column. So what is the highest penalty? So highest penalty is my 8. So I can enter from this column. What is the minimum element in this column? Now you have to just choose the penalty. Then you have to apply your least cost entry method that give the maximum assignment if there is a tie, right? Or otherwise choose the minimum column, minimum cost from the concerned row or column and assign the value. So here what is the minimum entry? 0. So you will assign the minimum of AI and BJs. So what is minimum? 35 or 200? What is minimum? 35. So here you will assign 35 and what will cut row or column? You will cut your row, right? And 200 minus 35, that will be your 165. Is it clear? Yes or no? Now you have to again calculate the fresh penalties. Here there will be no difference because you have not cut the column. Here it is 1, but now the penalties in the column will change. Now what is the minimum element in the column? You have deleted this 0. Is it clear? आपने कट कर दिया रो और वो वाला, अब आप 0 कंसीडर नहीं करोगे, राइट? So what is the minimum element? 3 and the next highest element is 3. So the penalty is 0. The minimum element is 8 and the next minimum element is 10. The difference is 2. The minimum element is 6. The next minimum element is 7. So it is 1. The minimum element is 0. The next minimum element is 1. So it is 1. Is it clear? Yes or no? Is it clear? Now which penalty you have to choose? The highest penalty you have to choose to enter. What is the highest penalty? 7. Right? So here you will enter. What is the minimum cost? 1, 12, 8 or 10. What is minimum? 1. So you will do the assignment here. Now what is minimum? 100 or 100? Both are same. So you can assign 100 over here. But what you will do? Either you will cut row or column. What should I cut? Penalties will not get changed if you will cut the row, right? So either you can cut row or you can cut column. If you cut row, the concerned penalties over here will not change. But if you will cut column, all the penalties will change. So I am cutting the row. Right? So this is cut from this. So here 100 you have cut, 100 minus 100 here will be 0. Is it clear? Yes or no? Because you have minimum element same, that means you will get your degenerate basic feasible solution. कोई ना कोई आपका xij क्या आएगा? 0 आएगा. Is it clear? Now again you have to calculate the penalties. Here is 3, no change. 0, no change. 2, no change. 1, no change. Now the penalties here can be changed in the column. So here the minimum element here is 3 and 3, 0. The minimum element here is now 10 and the next minimum element is 11. So the penalty here is 1. Now the minimum element here is 6 and 7. 1. The minimum element is 0. The next highest is now 3. Is it clear? So here the minimum will come out to be 3. So what is the highest penalty here? Now 3. 3 is coming in the first row as well. 3 is coming in the fourth column as well. So that I have told you that once you have a tie, to break the tie आपको वही method follow करना है जो आपने least cost entry में किया था कि minimum cost में क्या करना है, maximum allocation देनी है. अगर आप यहाँ से enter होते, I'm just telling you that from where you can enter. If you enter from here, what is the minimum over here? 0, right? 0, 80 और 0 का minimum यहाँ पे क्या आता? 0 ही. 0 असाइनमेंट आती ना. बट अगर आप यहाँ से एंटर होते तब भी आपका ये 0 ही आता. तब कहीं से भी एंटर करो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. सपोज यहाँ पे ये वाला 3 नहीं होके सपोज ये यहाँ पे 3 होता, सपोज, राइट? सो अगर आप यहाँ से करते तो आप 0 में 0 एलोकेशन दे रहे हो अगर आप यहाँ से एंटर करते. बट अगर आप यहाँ से एंटर करते तो आप 3 में कितनी असाइनमेंट दे देते? 80 असाइनमेंट दे देते. दैट इज द मिनिमम ऑफ 80 एंड 150. And here also the minimum of 110 and 50, 150 will be 110. तो कौन सी रो से एंटर करते? अगर आपका 3 यहाँ पे होता और यहाँ पे होता, राइट, तो अगर तो यहाँ से एंटर करते तो पक्का यही साइन करते, मिनिमम कॉस्ट यही है और 0 ये साइन हो रहा है। अगर आप यहाँ से एंटर करते तो अब आपके पास 2 3 है, अगर आप यहाँ साइन करते तो 80 और 150 का मिनिमम 80 साइन होता। अगर आप यहाँ से एंटर करते 110 और 150 का असाइनमेंट कहाँ होता? 110। तो कहाँ से एंटर करना बेटर था? कॉलम से। इज इट क्लियर? बट नाउ देयर इज नो सच सिचुएशन। You can enter from any side, either you can enter from the row or you can enter from column. Is it clear? So here I am entering, here the cost will be 0, and now what will cut? Row or column? Column, because 0 is over here. Is it clear? Right, now again you have cut 80 minus 0, again it is coming out to be your 80. Is it clear? Again calculate your penalties. Here now minimum element is 3, next minimum element is 6. So here is 3, minimum element is 3, the next minimum element is 7, the difference is 4, the minimum element is 8, the next minimum element, 7 and 8 difference is 1, 10 and 7, this is your 3, and here 3 minus 3, that is again coming out to be 0. Now the minimum element is 10 and it is 11, 1. The minimum element is 10 and 7 and 6. So here is this 1. Is it clear? Now what is the maximum penalty? 4. So you will enter from here, where you will do the assignment. The minimum cost. What is the minimum? 3. You will give the maximum minimum of 110 and 150. कितना दोगे? कट क्या होगा? रो और कॉलम? रो. So here it will be row cut, and here it will be your 150 minus 110, that will be your 40. Is it clear? Again calculate the penalties. Now the difference here is 6 minus 3 is 3. Here we will not calculate. The difference is 7 minus 8. This is 1. 10 minus 7 is 3. And here the penalty. Now the minimum cost is 3. The next is 7. Here the minimum penalty is 4. The minimum cost is 10. And the next is 11. This is 1. Here it is 10. Here it is 6 and 7. It is 1. Now what is the maximum penalty? 4. Right. So you will enter from here. And what is the minimum cost? 3. But you will assign 80 or 40? 40. So what you will cut, row or column? Column will cut, and 80 minus 40 will be your 40. Again calculate the penalties. 6 and 11 minus, that will be the difference is 5. 7, this we will not calculate. 7 and 13, the difference here will be 6. 10 minus 10, the difference is 0. For this case, I am penalty writing over here. The penalty here, it is coming out to be 8 minus 7. This is, we will not calculate this penalty. This is 11 and 10. The penalty here is 1. This is 6 and 7. The penalty here is 1. What is the maximum penalty? So you will enter from here. The minimum here is 7. the minimum of 150 and 175 will be? What will you cut, row or column? So you will cut your correspondingly row. And the next here 175 minus 150, here you will have 25. Is it clear? Again, you will calculate the penalties. So the penalty for the first row 6 minus 11, this is 5. This we will not do. This we have already cut. This is already cut. Here the penalty 10 minus 10 here will be 0. And in this case, this we will not calculate. The penalty here is 11 and 10. Again it is 1. And the penalty here is 6 and 10. Here it is 4. What is the maximum penalty? You will enter from here 5. What is the minimum cost? 6. Which you will assign 40 or 25? 25. What you will cut, row or column? So you will cut your concerned column. So that is 40 minus 25. That will be your 15. Again, you will calculate your penalties. For this case, the penalty is coming out to be your 11, right? There is no other element. Here, the penalties you will not calculate, you will not calculate, you will not calculate. And here, the penalty here is 10. And in this, 11 minus 10 again is 1. And this we will not calculate, this will not calculate. What is the maximum penalty? 11. So we will assign value over here. The minimum of 165 and 15 will be 15. But you will cut, row or column? Row will be cut, and here will be 165 minus 115. That will be your 150. Is it clear? Next, we will not calculate penalty for this, for not this, for not this. Only we are left with one cell. So you can notice over here. Here you have 150. Here also you have 150. So in the last assignment, you will always have same availability and demand. Is it clear? Now you are done, right? So this you have find your initial basic feasible solution, and you got your x11 is coming out to be your x11 is your 40, right? And x12 is 15, x13 is 25, x14 is 0, x21 is 110, and x33 that is coming out to be your 150, x44 coming out to be your 100, x52 that is coming out to be your 150, and this is your dummy row, and this is x62 coming out to be your 35. अगर आपने मिनिमम कॉस्ट निकालनी है फॉर IBFF क्या करोगे? कंसर्न कॉस्ट किससे मल्टीप्लाई कर दोगे? 3 into 40, 11 into 15, 6 into 25, 0 into 0, 3 into 110, 7 into 150, 100 into 1, 150 into 10, 35 into 0. That will be your minimum cost. Is it clear? Yes or no? So suppose the question is given to you. Don't get panic if you see the question. We have not done that. The supply and demand is given only. And what extra is given to you. This is the same question. The statement was that find initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation for the following transportation problem, right? So the transportation problem is given to you that it has 4 plants. That is where you have to deliver the product P1, P2, P3, P4, and next you have 5 warehouses. Here you have W1, W2, W3, W4 and W5. And the moreover what is given to you, the production cost is given to you. The raw material cost is given to you. And here sales are given to you. That means availability. But selling price is also given to you. And here also demand is given to you. So the concerned cost, this is our 15, this is 10. Fourteen, 12, this is 5, 4, 3, 8, 6, 175, 13, 8, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, 100. And the sales are here. This is 80. And this is 110, 150, 100, 150. And the selling price 34, 32, 31, 31, 31, and this is 31. Now this is transportation problem. How you will solve? You have sales and demand, but you also have extra things. One is your production cost, raw material cost, transportation cost, and the selling price as well. How you will proceed? अगर मैं आपको सेलिंग प्राइस दे दूं और मैंने बता दिया ये आपकी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट है, ये प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है, ये रॉ मटेरियल की कॉस्ट है, तो आप क्या निकाल सकते हो? You can calculate profit, right? How you will calculate if you have to solve this? How you will calculate your profit? That you will subtract everything from the selling price minus production cost minus raw material cost minus your transportation cost. Is it clear? Yes or no? You can calculate this thing. So आप हर सेल के लिए अपना प्रॉफिट निकाल सकते हो. तो प्रॉफिट कैसे निकलेगा? Here it will be selling price आपको कितना दिया हुआ है? 34. So आपका यहाँ पे सेल किया प्रॉफिट कितना हो जाएगा? 34 माइनस प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट माइनस रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट माइनस योर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट. तो आपका हर सेल में क्या आ जाएगा? प्रॉफिट आ जाएगा. So it is coming out to be 6. Again here you will calculate, and in this unit also you can calculate. Here will be selling price is 32 minus production cost minus raw material cost minus transportation cost, and it is coming out to be your 6. Is it clear? Yes or no? How I am calculating? So this you have calculated. I am changing in this. Calculate profit in every iteration, in every cell, it is coming out to be 6. I am writing all the entries that you can calculate. That is coming out to be 6. This is 6, 1, minus 1, and 2, minus 2, minus 2. This is coming out to be minus 4, 1, minus 1. This is coming out to be 3, 2, 2, minus 3, minus 1. This is coming out to be your 9, 6, 4, 8.3. Now, अब ये वैसी ही प्रॉब्लम है जो हमें दी जाती है, that I have sales, minimum cost, and I have demand. So can I apply initial basic feasible solution or VAM? Yes or no? No. You have calculated profit, and profit is always maximized, not minimization. So that means you will convert into minimization. How you will convert it into minimization? That choose the maximum element and subtract every element. So this is the same question that you have already done now. So 9 minus 6, that is coming out to be your 3. Change. Can I change in this? So this is 9 minus 6, 3. This is 3, 3, 8, 10, 7, 11, 11, 13, 8, 10, and this is 6, 7, 7, 12, 10. This is 0, 3, 5, 1, 6. Still, can you start your initial basic feasible solution? No. You have to check it balanced as well. It is not balanced transportation problem. So this is the same question that we have already done now for Vogel's approximation. This is the same statement that I have already solved this problem. Clear? Thank you.